Hello viewers, welcome back. In this video, we are going to see @ignore annotation in TestNG. Also, we are going to compare @ignore annotation with @test enable is equal to false. We have already seen what is @test enable is equal to false. We have used these properties to disable a particular test methods of a particular test class, as well as we can disable the whole class. But as far as @ignore annotation is concerned, its scope is more than the scope of @test enable is equal to false. If I want to ignore a package, we can use @ignore annotations, which uh, which is not possible through @test enable is equal to false. So let's go to the demo sections where we are going to create some of the tests to understand how to ignore a test method as well as a test package using @ignore annotation. At the same time, we are going to see @test enable is equal to false, which works for methods as well as test class. Okay, so this is a test class where you can see there are two test methods, test demo test 1 and demo test 2. So we can run any of this demo test of this particular test class without any problem, because there is no any test enable equal to false or @ignore annotation has been used. So you can see that I ran demo test 1 and it was run successfully. Now let's say if I want to disable this, so I can easily say enabled is equal to false. Okay, and if I try to run this, TestNG will not allow us to run this particular test. Why? Because we have used enabled equal to false property of @test annotation. So you can see the message is coming like no test were found to run. Same things I can achieve using @ignore annotation. So how can I write @ignore? Just on the top, you just specify this annotation and just try to run it. We are going to see the same message, no test were found to run in this case also. Okay, yeah, but at the same time, if I want to run this particular test, you can easily run it because it is not disabled either using enabled equal to false or using @ignore. Okay, so we also know that we can use @test enabled equals to false at class level. Okay, so if I try to run this particular class, I don't have any option to run it. Why? Because we made the entire test class as disabled, means TestNG will not allow any of the test methods of this particular class to run. That's why we don't see any option over there. Similarly, I can use @ignore annotation at the test class level, and we will be observing the same behavior that no test were found to run. Okay, so till now the difference between @test enable is equal to false and @ignore is very similar. Okay, now the point comes where I want to extend this restriction up to package level. So that restriction is uh, provided by @ignore annotation. But to use this @ignore at package level, we must have to create some one of the file okay, known as package-info.java. Okay, so let's say I have created one package. Name of the package is P. Okay, in this package we have three test classes. Okay, so what are those test classes? You can see I have a demo, ignore demo1.java, ignore demo2.java, and 3.java, and all contain some of the test methods. Okay, any one of them I can run easily because we have not used anywhere at the rate ignore or at the rate test enabled is equal to false. Okay, only the important point over here is you have to create this particular file. Okay, we have to create this particular file. So how to create this particular file? If I right click and create this file in particular IntelliJ or some IDE, there will be some problems. Okay, most of them the time it will not allow to create the file name something like this package, okay, hyphen info.java. So better go to your directory structure and directly create file name something like this, and then try to put the contents what you see over here. What is the content over here that I am using at the rate ignore in this particular file, correct? And I'm saying which package I have to ignore. So I'm specifying I want to ignore this particular package. So what it means that I don't want to run any of the methods of ignore demo1, ignore demo2, and ignore demo3. Okay, so here we are ignoring the package P. So you can see that I have already ignored the package P, and if I want to run any of these tests, what we are going to see, it will not allow to run any of the test over here, and we are going to face the same message, that is no test were found. Okay, so ignore demo1 we are not able to run. Similarly, if I want to run ignore demo2 test class, still we are not able to run. Let's see the results. Okay, so ignore demo2 is also not being run. Okay, none of the method is picked up and executed. And let's try ignore demo3. The ignore demo3 is also not allowing us to run any of the test methods. So why? Because these three test classes are the classes of package P, and that package P has been disabled, or you can say ignored by at the rate ignore annotation by saying this particular line. Okay, so that's why it is not allowing you to run any of the test method of these three test classes. Okay, so if I comment it out over here, okay, and let's so now their package info.java contains nothing. That means this package will be treated as a normal package, and any of the test method if I want to run from here, we will be easily able to run the test. Okay, so I am able to run test one. Okay, similarly if I want to run the entire test class, you are allowed to do so. Okay, similarly ignore demo 2 as well. If you want, we can run. Okay, and similarly I can go for ignore demo3.java and run all the test method in it. Okay, so we were discussing about at the rate ignore. So at the rate ignore can be used to ignore a test method, entire test class, as well as entire package. Only the important point to note over here is that we have to create this particular file in the package. That package we want to ignore. Okay, and what that file contains, the first line is ignored. Okay, and the second line is which package we want to ignore. Okay, so here I'm saying testng.annotation.p, that means I want to ignore p package. So all the test classes, that is ignore demo1, ignore demo2, and ignore demo3 will not be allowed to run any of their test methods. Okay, so as far as at the rate test enabled is equal to false is concerned, its scope is limited to restricting the methods as well as test class. But at the rate ignore annotation restricts the entire package also. It's all about difference between at the rate ignore annotation and at the rate test enabled is equal to false. Thank you. Thank you very much.